Hi, I've got a winter sowing tutorial for you today on arugula. I'm going to show you 2 ways to winter sow arugula. Okay, first off, I have 2 used containers that I used last year, maybe the year before. I'll use them 2, 3, 4 years as many times as I can. I've already labeled out here, and I'll tell you in a minute what the pink tape is for. Let me focus that for you. Since I've already got a lot of writing on this container, I decided to put it on the pink tape. Arugula, my date, and 3H means 3 holes. This one is arugula, my date, and BC. Guess what that stands for? We'll do that one first. Okay, first off, you might think, well, that's a lot of soil. That's about 6, 7 inches of soil. Guess what? It's not really. It was wet when I put it in, and now watch. It's such a light, fluffy soil. When you push it down, it goes way down. So that's about the right amount. But I go between 4 and 6 inches of soil. I could even go a little bit higher. And notice I did not smash that down a lot. I just pushed it down a little. Same thing here. Now watch how high that is. And this is, and I didn't put it in lightly. I mean, I really filled it up. But it went down at least 1.5 inches there. So there you can see it. That's my basic amount of soil. Okay, so this one first is going to have individual holes. The less seeds you have, the bigger your plants will grow. Okay, now with leafy greens, a lot of people like to grow big plants, like big heads of lettuce, big heads of kale, big plants of arugula, or a lot of people want to just have baby greens. So that's what this one's going to be. This one's going to be big plants of arugula, and when you have them separated out and growing with a lot of space between them, those plants get really big. I mean, you know, much bigger than the baby ones. Now these that are going to be broadcast, that's what your BC stands for. Okay, BC just means I broadcasted, or sprinkles, same thing. So I know when I'm starting to see seeds pop up, am I looking for 3 plants and 3 holes? Or am I going to see, 20 little plants in there? I like both. This one's driving me crazy, bouncing up and down here. So I'm going to do, first off, I use my fancy dancy pen. And I'm just going to make 3 holes pretty far apart from each other. Not too deep because these are very tiny seeds. With winter sowing, I learned the hard way, you do not want to bury them deeply. I'm just going to drop those in. I know it's dark and it's midnight here. Put those here, put those here. And then I'm just going to lightly cover. And I've already watered the soil very well. Not soppy wet, but very moist. And then before I just put the seeds in, I also did my spray bottle. And now that my seeds are in, I'm actually going to spray it again. Can you tell? I really like them wet. Because they're going out and they're going into hibernation for quite a while. So that one's wet. Now, just a side note, I don't like popsicle sticks at all. I don't like wood. I don't like them because they're too small. I just don't like them. Where is my pack of them here? Oh, here they are. Someone gave me this really nice big pack of like hundreds of them. So I didn't want to waste them. So I am going to be using them up. But I prefer, this is my favorite one right here. I can write my little mini novella on it. And I write on both sides, all kind of things. Where I got it, when I got it, who I got it from. That's just me. It's way overkill. All you need to put is arugula and the date. That's the basics. So that's why I'm using my popsicle sticks. So this one says broadcast, okay? So here's a whole bunch of little seeds. I could either take the packet. These are organic. What was the company? Botanical Interest. And, just tap it in here like that. Boy, this is a challenge while you're doing a video. Who knows how these are going to turn out? Okay, now I'm going to watch what I'm doing. Ooh, there's a lot of seeds in there. Okay, that's insane. I'm gonna regret that. So anyway, after I get off camera, see all those seeds? Those are gonna be a bunch of baby greens. So I will not transplant them separately. I'm just gonna take the whole container of soil. I'll probably chunk it in half. I take one chunk and plant it in my garden or one of my growing tubs or a bucket, and then the other chunk. I might even do it in fourths, depending on how vital and alive they are. But those will give me nice baby green leaves that I can start eating right away while I'm waiting for these bigger plants to mature. So is that everything I wanted to tell you? I think so. I'm going to sprinkle more soil over this lightly because it's way too much to finish, by my fingers. I'm just going to give it a dusting of soil, another good super soak spray. Got my labels inside. Going to close it up. Oh, and let me tell you why I use color tape. I change my method every year about why I use the color. I did start off doing it like olive watermelons would have one color, olive herbs would have another color, kale would have another color. And it was great because I could look down easily and find my containers. I move them around all the time as they're growing, maturing, I'm opening them. I move them a lot. So I don't want to have to bend down and look and read on the side. I want to look at the top, know right away what it is. This year, I am so busy, I don't have the time to do all the colors, so I'm just going to do one color, maybe two. But this year, pink means cabbage worm. It means cruciferous vegetables, the brassica family. Your cauliflower, collards, kale, arugula, broccoli. I said cauliflower already. I'm missing another, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. That whole family loves to be eaten up, and then they can eat fast and destroy your plants overnight by the cabbage worm, which comes from the cabbage moth. So these are going to need protected, and I've been really bad about doing it every year. So when I transplant them, they're fine now. They don't need any protection now in the jug. When I transplant them, I've got to put them in a container where I have mesh surrounding them so that cabbage moth cannot get to them. I don't use any pesticides or any toxic chemicals, anything to kill insects. I just use mechanical barriers like fabric. And it works great if you do it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. This is how you winter sow arugula, either broadcasting it for mini greens or doing a few strategic seeds for large plants for transplant. Okay, make sure you see my playlist. I've got a whole playlist just to answer each vegetable, herb, and fruit that I plant of how many seeds to put in a container until you are so confident you don't even need to ask that question anymore. You just know how many seeds to put in on your own. But I've got these as a backup for you. Sending you much love from my garden to yours. Bye-bye.